Our next inductee is somebody who came along too soon. If Julie Middleton was 15 years old today, college scouts all over Northern California would be down at San Mateo High watching this amazing female athlete just dominate high school girls basketball, and she was a great track athlete too, but basketball was her thing. At San Mateo, back in the day, this is in the early 1980s, this is just at about the time that competitive girls sports in San Mateo County was really starting to become a big deal. And she averaged 29 points a game in high school. She could rebound. I mean, she was the best. She was the best in the area. And if she had the benefit of coming along 30 years later, 35 years later, there's no telling what that star would have looked like. Now, in fairness to everybody, in fairness to her, she did well. She went to Cal State Northridge. She played ball there. She was outstanding. Everything was good. But it's funny how timing really is everything. A lot of things that happen to everybody here is timing, luck, who your parents are, where you live, who your teachers are. A lot of it is chance, and you only really have one shot at some of this stuff. So Julie made the most of it, but I'll tell you what, it would have been fantastic to see her coming along 35 years later. Oh my. Anyway, Julie, come on up and talk to us, please. Right here, right here.
Thank you, John, for that introduction. You know, when I received the letter in the mail and I read it, I kind of flipped it up and flipped it down, and me, you know. And when I spoke to John on the phone, he said similar things, and I knew that he understood what I knew and others knew from San Mateo, which was I came along at a time after Title IX, and because of Title IX, young girls got the opportunity to have a chance to compete in athletics and, you know, compete at a higher level than had it ever happened before. But as a child, I want to go back to San Diego, where I grew up, and I began playing basketball with my brothers in the backyard, and my recreational coach kind of prophesied over me about that. He said, you know what? You keep doing what you're doing. The women just won the 1976 silver medal in the Olympics, and then from there, you're going to be able to play in high school. And from there, if you want to, you can play in college and you can get a scholarship. So from there, my mother moved to the Bay Area, and I began school at Bowditch Middle School. And this is where I want to introduce my social studies teacher and my basketball coach and my track coach, Ed Schuler. Someone mentioned earlier how we all are intertwined, and we are like family here. Ed went on to referee me. He was an official referee and with us in high school. But in high school, he brought back some of his alumni and from the year before. And I wasn't sure what high school I was going to go to. So one of the young ladies, Tony Hadnot Gore, she was playing at San Mateo High School. And she was like, well, what school are you going to go to? And I said, well, maybe Hillsdale, because Debbie Chen from Hillsdale introduced herself first to me. Where she was like, no, I think you're going to go to San Mateo. So this is how I ended up at San Mateo. And when I arrived at San Mateo, I met, I want to start off and go back a little bit. Linda Sue, who is here, she's been with me since the 8th grade. We competed against each other. I want to stand up for a minute. She was on my relay team in high school. And she would beat me. She beat me about half the season our freshman year, and we competed viciously from then on. And from there, Dee Dee Gladney is another athlete that was dominating in high school. And I'm saying all of this to say that, just like the other young man that came up, I was always third, you know, third best. I kept coming in third my freshman year. And something took place in me coming into my sophomore year where I just took off. I don't know what it was. I just became this super fast human being. I don't know why basketball was my love, but I only did track to stay in condition. So I met Johnny Ferguson, and Johnny became my coach from my sophomore year to my senior year, and he's here tonight. And here he is. The Fergusons are well known in San Mateo County. We're like a family here in San Mateo, and we are all intertwined in some kind of way. And these people have become my lifelong friends, and as well as Ursula Yip, she's here, and she was on the mile relay team. I have to let you know, there's a lot of people from San Mateo, a lot of young girls and women that went on to do a lot of great things, and I was just one of them. I would like to say there was Dee Dee Gladney and Leslie Maxey. She's a 1995 Hall of Famer here, an Olympian. She's like my best friend. She's my sister. She encouraged me today. She was supposed to be here, but she caught the flu, and she was going to fly out all the way from Jersey and surprise me. But some of the things that she's told me about myself, I never realized that I was a role model for young girls. And I'm glad to know that I made a difference. And I'm still trying to make a difference. What I'm doing now is I'm a social worker in LA County, and I've been a social worker for 25 years. And what I'm most proud about with that is that I've been able to service families for 25 years, and I've worked a lot with a lot of at-risk youth, and I'm very proud because I see it as a calling. And I kind of compare it to athletics because a lot of it has to do with the ups and downs and how you overcome those things that is what matters. I want to thank all of these people, and I want to thank my late coach, Don Dooley. He's a legend. He's very influential. And also when I read that letter, something overcame me as if he was in the room. And I felt him smiling down upon me. And I just want to acknowledge him. And I want to acknowledge also Brenda Brewer, who without her, and she passed away last year, she was my rival, she was my nemesis, she was my friend, and she was my sister. And if anybody deserves to be where I'm standing right now, I would have to say it's Brenda. And I want to dedicate this night to her because she's a special person. And I know she would be very proud. She would be very proud of me for standing up here and receiving this, but I think that she's the real MVP. And I just want you to know that I'm very happy to have received this. This is a tremendous honor, and it means a lot to me and my family and all of my friends, because, I don't know, to be acknowledged at this time in my life, it's gonna take me for another 50 years. Hopefully I'll live to be 100. And I will never forget this, and I just wanna thank you all.